All right, good evening. It is 6 p.m., October 10th, Tuesday. And I call this meeting of the North Brookfield Board of Selectmen to order. If you'll all rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. First thing we have is approval of minutes.
So the first set, all three of you were there.
Yeah, I
The
can't.
second set, it was just Brooke and Jason, I believe. Were you at the department head then?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
And then,
Yeah.
And then the last one
I don't know why I
is-
didn't say all of you.
are we all there?
Yeah, you were all there for the first two sets, and then
Okay.
the last set was just Brooke and
All right, so we're gonna have to vote these separately.
Mhm.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve warrants for,
minutes.
our minutes for the 9/12 and 9/13 Board of Selectmen's meetings, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions?
Nope.
Nope.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the 10/3 meeting of 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Nope.
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay. Now we have the warrants. I'll entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant number 8 for $334,181.01. School warrant number 1023 for $257,787.98. General warrant number 1024 for $252,198.43. And CDBG NB 21, that's a grant, so for warrant number 1026 for $25,039.45.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Nope.
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So, financial items, we have some requests for payments, and we have some ARPA fund stuff. I think we'll do the request for payments first. So Parks and Rec is requesting crushed stone, $509. And that is for,
Town forest parking area.
okay,
We have opportunity to acquire some timbers for edging, so we're going to kind of get that kind of completed this season. Free edging and might add, so
okay, and we have that in the budget.
that's in, yes, in our budget.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the $509 for crushed stone for Parks and Rec.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
No. That's great.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next one is the highway is requesting $400 for a muffler. I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So, next thing is some ARPA funds discussion, and there was a recommendation for money for tree work. Now, there's some money that got approved several months ago, possibly even more than that, $50,000 for,
Last year's.
yeah, all right, so a long time ago, and it never got used for catch basins at the highway department. They were able to find another funding source, so we need to rescind that vote and let it go back into the ARPA account. So we're gonna, I'll entertain a motion to rescind the $50,000 for the catch basins previously appropriated.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Can we reallocate that money
Well, somebody can.
back to the highway, or
Well,
do
we
we need
can-
to ask for it again?
Well, we can you know, that's part of our discussion for, you know, the ARPA funds discussion, is we're the appropriating body, whether, you know, ARPA agrees with anything we do or not. They recommend to us certain things and we can approve it or not. So that's what we're doing with this 50,000, is we're putting it back in that account so it can be further used for something else later. Any more discussion
No,
on that particular issue?
not yet.
No.
Wait till we
No.
talk about
Alright.
ARPA.
All right, motion been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next thing we have is a request. It says, at their meeting on Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, the ARPA committee voted to submit the following spending recommendations for your approval for the town's ARPA funds at this time. $30,000 to the tree warden and assistant tree warden to fund the removal of approximately 100 hazardous trees adjacent to town roadways. Respectfully submitted Ethan Malad, chair of the ARPA committee. Now, well, first of all, I'll entertain a motion to approve the $30,000.
So,
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion?
when Patrick went into them, he asked for $45,000.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they didn't think that was right, because the 45,000 gave the tree company, gave them $1,500 a day for 30 days, which was supposedly supposed to take care of the 100 hazardous trees, approximately. So if you knock that down to 30,000, it gives you 20 days at approximately $1,500 a day. So you're not gonna get 100 trees approximately cut down for that, because they took 15,000 off. So I'm sure they can use the 30,000, but his original ask was for 45,000, because he had the math all done.
I'm sure they can use twice that.
Oh, yes, but when they knocked it down,
Yeah.
you know, it puts them in a, they're not gonna be able to do as much. So the 100 number, which is arbitrary anyway, because it's approximately, will be cut down significantly, because they don't have the funding for that.
And just so everybody knows, the National Grid used to take care of trees that hung over the lines and poles and transformers and all that stuff. If it was dangerous, they would take it down. But now it seems they want to wait till it falls down to actually do something about it. So it's,
We get FEMA money.
yeah, so they wait for a disaster and then they come and clean up. So supporting some money for the tree warden and tree removal is actually being proactive. So, you have anything to add?
I do, yeah, I'm wondering, the reason that ARPA gave 30,000 instead of 45, did they give a reason for dropping it down to that amount?
When Patrick made his proposal, he said, anything you can give us will be appreciated. So they knocked it down 15 grand
Okay.
because of that, but they really could use $100,000. But
Yeah.
if we give them
I
back the 45, apparently we're giving 50 back
Mm-hmm.
to ARPA, so.
Yeah, I guess I
That's why I would
just,
like to reallocate it to that money, and then, is this the time to talk about this, or are we on ARPA?
Well,
yet?
we got a,
We gotta approve the 30.
we have a vote first,
Yeah,
so,
can we amend this 30 to 45?
I guess for me though, before we do that, I'm wondering if we can approve the 30,000 and then can they approach ARPA for more, just,
They're not
In
the
this
governing
budget
body of the
season.
money, we're the ones that,
no, I understand that. I'm just saying in this season of budget requests, I don't know how many requests are going into ARPA. And I want to give them a voice too, that since this is their account and they're, sort of monitoring it and sending us their requests. That would be my feeling on it.
any request that goes should come to us first and not to the ARPA funds. We should come to the Board of Selectmen, and we should ask them if it can be paid for through ARPA. That's what they were put in progress or process to be advisors, not to hold the reins on the money. They're advisors to the Board of Selectmen.
Yes.
It's an advisory committee.
I agree with you, but I also would like their advice on, because they are the ones being approached for the money as far as I understand. We have not been.
Well, it goes, so the way this has worked, originally there were a lot of, there was a lot of red tape and stipulations involved in ARPA money requests when it first came out. And as time has gone on, they've relaxed that and they've made, there's a lot of things, there's towns that are spending things that are just, it's absolutely wrong that they're spending it on. Because it should be on infrastructure, among other things, but, it's illegal to use it to balance your budget. And some towns have had to do that because of the way the economy is.
Yeah, I don't think we're,
As,
I think we're right in line with all of those folks.
right, as far as requests to the ARPA committee, so they're advisory. Requests are supposed to go in, they're supposed to look at the request and then give us a recommendation whether or not to pay for that. How much is in that account is completely irrelevant to their task.
Okay.
Whether it's, if they have something that they want to spend it on, and we haven't gotten to that yet, that doesn't matter. What matters is the requests that come in and get decided on, they send it to us to say whether or not it fits the criteria for ARPA, and then we decide on whether or not we're supposed to, we want to pay for it with that money.
Okay.
So that's the way that works.
Are we allowed to say anything on this issue?
What would you like to say?
Oh, my question is, we're discussing this, well, you guys are discussing this, I'm voting, and he brought up a big point, is they dropped it down to 30 when they were asking 45. Why is there nobody that's in charge of ARPA here to, at this meeting, discuss it? You just asked a question, they're not even here to answer it. Why isn't there a person in charge for that organization here?
Their recommendation was for 30.
No, I understand that, but
recommendation
you
that they
asked,
gave to
there was a
us.
question here, and she didn't ask a question.
Yeah.
But you said the people wanted 45,000, and they said they only want to do 30. She asked why they only want to give 30 instead of paying 45. Why is there somebody from this organization here to be able to answer? If there's an issue brought up at a meeting, that department head should be here, or the organization head should be here to be able to answer any questions that are being asked at this meeting.
You're not-
The way I feel, this
Sure,
should
you're not wrong.
be tabled. This should be tabled until somebody comes to the meeting to discuss this. I mean, they're here for their department.
Yeah.
What if they didn't show up here? You would have to table their issue because, in case you had questions to ask them.
The ARPA committee is an advisory committee.
There has to be a leader to it.
Yes, but they've advised us to spend 30,000,
Right, John,
not
but
45.
to Ray's point,
Yes.
we had questions and somebody should be able to answer that. However, we can make educated, decisions on our own, and it's tree money, and we know that there's a certain amount of money in that account. So, plus we just put 50 grand back, so if we decide that we want to amend it and move that up, we can do that. It's totally in our purview.
I'm just wondering myself,
It would be nice.
why did they drop $15,000? Aren't these the people that said that we have 100 bad trees in this town that we have to cut down?
We have more than that probably.
The tree.
Well, I'm just saying,
the tree
because they
board-
came up with 100, so they're saying there's
Tree
100
work.
trees that have to be,
Yeah.
tree work, there's 100 trees that gotta be cut down. The company says, we can do it for $45,000. How they came up with that, that's, however, I was,
It's an
now,
arbitrary
they're
number.
saying, no, we're gonna only pay you 30,000.
Right.
Well, how many trees are not gonna get cut down? And in this winter, because right now you're almost in a bind because winter's coming, it's around the corner.
It is.
So you turn on, you say, and maybe they figure that they got you by that, I don't know.
Sure. And they're
So
gonna
now
have
you
to-
turn
they're
on,
gonna have to move on it, yeah.
out of those 100 trees, they say we can't cut 20 trees down. Those 20 trees fall down on the wire. Now they say, we told you should have cut them down.
Sure.
The company says, well, we gave you a price for them, you're the ones that said we don't want to pay it. I'm just saying, I think that organization or leader should be here to answer the questions, to explain why they decided to only offer to pay them $30,000.
Well, we'll have to ask them when they come next time, but,
I mean, so my
We've
feeling is it
got-
should be tabled until they come here.
well, we've got a motion on the floor. And, were you done?
Can we amend
You can all,
the recommendation?
Until we vote on it, we can amend anything.
Yeah,
But you have to make the motion.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the $30,000 for approximately 100 hazardous trees to be removed or trimmed to the $45,000 that was originally asked by the tree wardens.
We can't
No.
talk about it unless you second it, until somebody seconds
mean-
it.
Well, you can,
All right.
too. I
All
don't
right.
agree with
I'll
it, and I
second it.
don't want to
All
move
right.
forward.
I second. All right, motion's been made and seconded, discussion.
I think we can keep the $30,000 and then go back for 15 more. I just want to check in with ARPA first. I don't feel like should be, 100% our onus to take on, to add to add $15,000 to a recommendation that was already set at 30. I just would rather, for peace of mind, to check in with ARPA, and I think it's okay to approve the 30 that they offered, and then we can always go back so that they can get started on this work. But, and then we can check in and add 15,000 later if they determine that it's important.
John,
I'm done.
you done? Okay, well, I think that, winter is coming, and I think that there's a lot of trees that we do have reason to take down, and we just put 50,000 back, so I don't think that adding 15 to that is really a big deal.
I guess I'm just thinking along the lines of our budget situation, where we have a really tight budget right now. We're approving $500, $400 here and there. So I would rather wait, just wait, not 15,000.
All right, anything else?
No.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to amend to 45,000, so, all in favor?
Aye.
No.
All right, motion passes. There was a request, since we're still on ARPA, there was a request for a certain amount of money, I forget if it was 50,000 or 100,000, for the water department to fix the water tank at the water plant. Now, we've given the water department over $400,000 to do repairs throughout town and on their infrastructure from the ARPA money. They had made increases to their rates years ago to do the repairs that we just gave them ARPA money for, that $450 or whatever $1,000. They have, as of June 30th, they have $281,000 in their retained earnings, which is supposed to be used for infrastructure, and it's probably going to go up in the fall when we close out the budget for the year. And I think that rather than give them, rather than approve that ARPA request, I think that they should pay for it with their retained earnings, since they have the money to do it. So I'll entertain a motion to deny the request of the water department for the $100,000 for the water tank.
So
Second.
Discussion?
Jamie had explained to me that as a, what do you call it, an enterprise fund,
Mm-hmm.
they have to keep a certain amount of money in their coffers for emergencies. He wasn't
Mhm.
sure how much they needed to keep,
Mhm.
but his thinking process was, he asked for 50,000, or said that he would accept 50,000 from ARPA to start it, and then he would pay 50 out of his retained earnings to finish it. So he'd actually be happy to get 50 and only spend 50 out of his earnings account, so that he wouldn't have to raise water rates again to replenish that, which,
Well-
I don't know if that's the...
Right, well, they don't have to, because they already raised rates to fix all the stuff we paid with ARPA money to fix. So they have all that extra money in there, they have 281,000. If they spend 100,000 on the water tank, they still have 181,000, and it's gonna go up in the fall anyway,
Will go up from what? How's it-
based on when free cash and all that stuff gets settled at the end of the year.
You said we weren't gonna have free cash just
That's not free cash, that's the same time.
at the same time. Okay.
Because once all their revenue is checked in and checked out, the accountant does her magic, then we'll know how much more they got.
Right.
But until then, I see no reason to, give them more money when they have all that in their retained earnings, which they raised rates for, and we paid for it already. So, you have anything to add?
No, I agree.
All right, so, did we make it? All right, so motion's been made and seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Okay. All right,
And the highway request also,
for,
the water main down
It's
for
the
the
80,000.
Donovan Road building, 80,000.
now I thought that was included in the,
It was absolutely not included in the price of the building.
it was included in the original plan.
No, it wasn't, and it wasn't pulled out of the original plan either.
It was,
I
if
understand.
you look at the list that Texon and Colliers gave us, it did say water main, something or other, it was like around, I think it was just under $80,000.
That was Tecton and Collier, and they've been doing funny stuff
And that's
the
what we
whole time.
based our borrowing, like what we put on the Proposition 2.5, that's what we based it on, was what they told us it was gonna cost, and that was included in that.
And that
So-
was included as part of our vote, is that
Yes.
right? Yes.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Well, they're not gonna have it then, because the money is not there for it, so.
Well, we'll do some more research on that, and we'll put that on for next time.
And that 80,000 is just to acquire the piping, because the highway and water departments will actually do the work. So they have to go out to bid for anything.
So that would be coming up from East Brookfield Road.
Yes, right in front of Country Auto, there's a hydrant. They're gonna run a, I don't know if it's a 6 or 8 inch main up to the corner by the salt shed and the highway driveway.
And it's 80,000 just for the pipe?
Piping, yeah. Well, from there, they have to put a hydrant. They need to put a hydrant there and then come into the building with 2 lines, a 1 inch and a 2 inch. One is potable water, the other one is to feed the building itself. They need water to fill their trucks and the street sweeper and all that, which they do from a hydrant up here, I guess, when they need to use the sweeper.
All right. Well, I guess we'll do some more research, and we'll look at that again in 2 weeks. What else on ARPA? Anything?
No.
John?
No, no.
All right. Next thing we have is the Board of Health contract for the landfill swales. We're not doing that
We
tonight?
didn't get that back in time, no.
Okay.
That's right.
That went to,
It went to town
Town council.
council, they reviewed it, now it's back with the engineers and with our insurance company.
so they found something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right, Ray.
Okay, my name is Raymond Balajian, 6 Conway Ave. And this was an ongoing issue on my property. This drainage, street drainage lines, this is dating back to the 1900. It goes from the streets to the people's property, through my property, and then back out to the street. I have a broken pipe that the highway department took it out, and cut the tree that was, the roots that broke it. I have a big hole in the yard, and of course it all floods up. Which, the last rainstorm flooded my cellar, flooded the property. But, I was still waiting for the highway guy. I figured he was gonna be here. He was supposed to call me. I gave my cell phone at that meeting, and I saw him in the town hall. It was Thursday, I think it was, and he says, "Oh yeah, I'm meaning to call you. I'll give you a call." I said, "Okay." I haven't got a call, but that's beside the point.
All right.
I wasn't expecting. We're still waiting 14 years for the.
So here's
Go ahead.
here's what we got so far. So if you look at the old maps of the system that was put in down Main Street, it shows all the maps back to 1880, 90, whatever the date is exactly. And it shows them run right down Main Street and then down Grove Street. Okay? And behind your house, there's a brook in that map. So those pipes that are behind your house were never included in that original drain system. Okay, stormwater drain. What happened later is they took that brook, for some reason, who knows why, and they ran a pipe down it and filled it in. And they put the catch basins in that are down there. And that brook ran across Reed and Conroy, and ran across Bradshaw, Willow Street, North Common, into the Common. There's a manhole in the Common.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes all the way down there, and then it ties in, so it crosses into the Grove Street and ties into the main down there by the bubbler, the old fountain that was there. Okay? So what we're doing at this point is we're looking into scoping out the line and finding exactly where all the breaks are in it to try to get it fixed. We have to look at easements for all the property that's along there and go from there. Now, as far as you're concerned, the previous owner of your property had gotten an abatement, a tax abatement, for flooding from the town. Okay? And apparently when you became owner, it doesn't transfer over. So if you want to apply for a tax abatement, you can go down and see the assessors and you can do that. And right now, we're doing everything we can to straighten out that situation.
Okay,
But
now,
that's where I'm at. I don't know if they told you when you moved in.
you know what? I got nothing out of when I bought the house.
So-
I found out a month after I bought it, when behind my barn, I had a lake. And a neighbor came over to me and said, "Hey, they tell you about the water problem?" I didn't even know the lake was there yet. He came over, "Did they tell you about the water problem?" I goes, "No, what water problem?" "Come here, I want to show you." I went down to the end of the road behind my horse barn, and I had Lake Brookfield. Behind it was literally water.
Mhm.
And he goes, "Come in my van, I want to take a ride." We went down to Bradshaw Street. This 4-foot high above ground pool. I only saw the 2 feet of the top of the pool. The bottom 2 feet was underwater. The whole neighborhood was, this is where all the pipes go. All these houses, I didn't go around and knock on everybody's door about the meetings. I'm not here, I just want it fixed. All these houses were complaining about their cellars are flooding. I have 4 catch spaces. You fixing, draining, going through the pipes is not gonna fix it because
It's
the
gonna-
catch spaces are just holes.
Right.
Dirt
It's
holes.
gonna tell us where the problems are, so we can fix it.
I've been telling you guys for 14 years.
You don't know where they all are.
You want to bet on that?
I'm not gonna get into that with you tonight. We don't know where they all are. There's probably more than you think there are.
There's 4 catch bases on my
I'm
property.
not talking about catch basins. I'm talking about blockages in the pipes.
This
We know where the catch basins are.
is one of the reasons why it's blocking the pipes, because you have a dirt hole.
There's also trees that have grown.
Let me just explain this,
I-
okay?
you did-
The
you
pipe
have.
runs, it stops. They dug a hole, a dirt hole, they dug a hole. 4 feet from there, they started the next pipe. They ran the pipe. When the pipe stopped, they dug a hole. 4 feet from there, they put the next pipe. They went to the next, this is 4 catch basins, is what I got. They're all illegal. So when the water drains, it
Well,
goes in the dirt hole,
I mean, they were put in
fills out, and then the dirt goes into the pipe.
70
and
years
blocks it. They've actually went in there with a shovel to unblock the pipes.
Okay,
They've done that to 2 of them, but the other 2, they don't even touch. It's just only 2 of them they've been working on. Okay, now they haven't in the last, since 2017, they haven't touched the pipes.
well, we're doing what we can do to help you. Okay? And everything that I told you tonight is as far as we've gotten so far. So that's what we're doing. If you want to apply for an abatement, you can do that with the assessors. And they'll come down and they'll look at it and whatever they give you. I forget what they gave the previous owner, but they should have told you that before you bought the house.
Yeah, I knew nothing about it.
So
until that point.
that's, you know,
I mean, the 3 highway commissioners, whatever you're gonna call it, the department head, ago, he went over and he says, what we wanna do is we wanna dig holes in your property and fill it with rocks so we have retaining ponds on your property. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not having retaining ponds on my property.
I really, 3 highway supers ago is
Yeah.
before all of us, so.
Oh, no, you were on the committee.
There's only been 2.
No, there's been 3. This is the 3rd one.
No, there's only been 2 since I've been on.
No. I'm telling you 3 because 14 years ago, you put me on, you were the selectman and you put me on a committee that, matter of fact, I think you were on the same committee.
Gary Jean was the super back then. And then Gary left and Jason's on. That's where we're at, 2.
I'm not gonna sit here and
I'm not either.
I know it's 3.
So I told you where we're at and we're gonna keep moving forward.
Now, when are we supposed to start working on these pipes?
I don't know. We're gonna scope them out, we're gonna figure out where they're blocked, and we're gonna see what we can do from there.
They have a camera that will go up the pipe with them. And they can tell us, I went 200 feet, I went 300 feet from, so that's what they do. They do it in the sewer pipes all the time for blockages. That's what he's talking about, scoping the pipe out. We're not just looking at, it goes in the pipe from wherever they can. If they're gonna start at the manhole on the playground, to the next one, that's where we're at now. We have to wait for the guy with the scope, because we don't have one. It's always, apparently there's a blockage that's blocking the pipe, the water from draining from your property, whether it's on your property or not.
It's old pipes.
Probably down this way.
Old pipes does have a lot to do with it, yes.
Yeah, because they start off
So-
this big, when they get older and older, they
Sure,
turn out
yeah.
this big, so
The
it's
tree
fine.
roots grow in, there's a number
And
of
like I
things.
said, and then you got a lot of trees, the trees growing on it, and the roots are the worst enemy of the pipes. That's what happened to the pipe that's removed on my property, that got crushed by the roots. So like I said, I got another hole in my yard, that the pipe that you guys removed, and the water just floods in there.
It's not gonna do anybody any good to dig up on your property if it's blocked down below, so we have to start down below first.
When was that pipe dug up?
2018.
Okay.
It's just after you hired this superintendent or commissioner or whatever his title is.
Okay. All right. So that's all I got for you tonight. So,
Now, I got another question. It's, the last meeting you stated that, keep in mind that that's on private property. What was that supposed to mean when you say that?
we have to do work in some of those places, we're gonna need easements, and I don't know if we have easements for all the properties. That's what I meant.
Okay, I just wanted
So
to
we have to look into that too.
make sure what it meant by that.
Yep.
So, I mean, I gave the guy, since
And we're looking, but some of
First year I
the
moved
paperwork goes a long way, so.
I gave the guy, all 3 of them people, I talked to them, I gave them permission to go on the property anytime they wanted to. So they knew
Okay.
it. So that's not to me, it was not an issue on going on the
Sure.
property. And I'm not disputing about, yay and nay on that. So
Okay.
I'm just letting you know, I told all of them that's,
Okay,
so.
thank you. All right. Did you have anything to add?
No.
BSC Group bidding contract, it's been to town council. They looked it over. They didn't see any issues with it. Did you look over the designs?
Oh, I didn't see this.
I emailed them to you guys.
Oh,
They look like we, everything
Like we asked them?
Yes.
no bump outs,
Yep, no bump outs. They look like we asked them, so
remove and repair or reset stuff,
everything
no
is,
streetlights.
yep.
Yeah, no, I'm good with it if they did what we asked this time, then I'm good with it.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the signing of the BSC Group contract for complete streets.
So,
Second.
Discussion.
as long as they did what we asked, I'm good with it.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
We have some one-day liquor licenses for Still Hearts. Apparently they're changing one. So this one here is the one we've already approved, I think, twice. And they're
This will
amending
be
it
the third
again
time, yes, due to the weather.
due to the weather. It's a benefit for the playground. It's an outdoor concert food, and they'll have alcohol in their parking lot. The date of the event is 10/21, and it's amended from 10/7, it's from noon to 9 p.m. So I will entertain a motion to approve the amended date for this event.
So,
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
hope it doesn't rain that Saturday.
Yeah. All right. Then the next one is,
Do you want to all in favor or keep going?
yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the next one is Still Hearts. It's the same thing. It's a one-day liquor license for outdoors. It's gonna be in the parking lot. It's on 10/22 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's a fundraiser for the North Brookfield Police Department. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
So,
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
no, I think it's a wonderful thing.
No,
All
sounds
right, all in favor?
good. Aye.
All right. All right, so over the years, at least 6 that I can think of, the last 6, we've been trying to work with East Brookfield because we share the town beach. We share the town beach because East Brookfield did not want to, they had a hard time paying the property tax on it and decided that, they'd ask us to share it for East Brookfield, North Brookfield residents. And we've been trying to work with them to find a equitable way to share the burden and keep non-residents out. We've sent them letters, emails, we've tried to work with them, and the last couple letters we've sent, they ignored completely. So I have a letter here. It says, "Dear East Brookfield Board of Selectmen and Parks and Recreation Committee, the North Brookfield Board of Selectmen and Beach Committee have attempted over a period of 6 years to try to work with East Brookfield Parks and Recreation Committee and Board of Selectmen to make the town beach a safe space for children and families. The original agreement was for the beach to serve the residents of North and East Brookfield only. In a spirit of cooperation, East Brookfield's taxes on the property have been waived in addition to North Brookfield paying a portion of the expenses of operating the beach. Over the past few years, East Brookfield has decided the beach should be open to the public. There have been many complaints made by abutters and residents about the behaviors of the people frequenting the beach and that these people are from other towns. East Brookfield's failed to respond to or even acknowledge North Brookfield's attempts to communicate regarding the beach. We are fully withdrawing our financial support for the town beach. Effective January 1st, 2024, East Brookfield will be responsible for paying property taxes on the property known as Town Beach and the utilities will be the responsibility of East Brookfield as well. I'll entertain a motion to sign and send that letter.
So,
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
I mean, I'm bummed that we couldn't come to a better agreement, but
we've had
It's been-
numerous, since I've been on the board, we've been
Right.
down there, they've been up here, and they just don't wanna move on anything or
Keep
agree to
going.
anything.
You were saying?
yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
agreeing.
So-
Yeah, it's been, even since I've been on, we've tried multiple times, so
And-
I don't know what else to
And
do.
just so everybody knows, the town beach is in North Brookfield, but it's owned by East Brookfield. So that's why, you know, there was a lot of working together, attempts to work together, and that's why, you know, they would be paying property tax. So it's in North Brookfield, but the property's owned by East Brookfield. So, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. John, you want to read the donation?
This is to the North Brookfield Fire Department. My family would like to donate $1,800 to the fire department for Nomex hoods. We believe that this donation will help protect our brave firefighters. We also would like to donate the money in the name of David Richard Lutz, who was a firefighter on the training flight lines during the Korean War and a retired police officer, now deceased. Thank you, the Lutz family, North Brookfield.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the $1,800 for the Nomex hoods and in the name of David Richard Lutz.
So,
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
no, it's gonna save the fire department $1,800, and the hoods are needed for the fire, the firemen. So, thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. So motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Brooke, would you read the parking ban?
The winter parking ban will go into effect on November 1st through April 1st. The hours will be from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. This change to the hours is to give the highway department sufficient time to clear all of the streets without having to go around parked vehicles. These hours shouldn't interfere with any of the businesses in town, of which most are closed by 9 p.m. Be aware that anyone leaving a vehicle parked overnight on a street or in a town lot will be subject to a parking ticket and fine and possible towing for repeat offenders. If there are any questions about the winter parking ban, please contact the Board of Selectmen or the Police Department.
Do we have to, like,
It's a change in the hours. It used to be 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. They're changing
Okay.
it to 9 p.m., so you do have to accept it.
all right. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the winter parking ban change.
So,
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
I think the change in the time was more or less for downtown, because they have to come in and with the payloader and dump trucks to clean up the center of town and all the street corners where they pile the snow during a storm, and it's hard to do it with cars parked.
Yeah.
And once Vibram gets parking back into their parking lots like they said they would, all the street parking spaces downtown should be vacant by that time. So I think that's why Jason asked to have that changed.
Yeah, that was my only question was about Vibram. So they don't need, they're not gonna need the spaces.
They should, when we went through the planning board to do the big addition that they were gonna do, they assured us that they had plenty of parking spaces in their 2 lots for all the people at Vibram for the different shifts.
Yeah.
And yet, they still park on the street, on the side, over here, or everywhere, other than, their parking lots are pretty much empty because they're parking all over the street. And they assured us that they would not do that. So I know the highway super has already talked to a couple of people at Vibram. Hopefully it would go up the chain, but at some point, I mean, we have it in the town, in the minutes of the planning board, and they signed off that they would park in their own lots. They actually counted the spaces, and made sure that they had the space to do that, so.
Do we know when shift changes occur over there?
Doesn't matter, they assured
No,
us
I know,
that they
I
had.
know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be, neighborly as well, and say, if the shift changes at 11, could our parking ban be at 11? Just to, but, and
Well,
then,
they take all the,
I think they have normal 7 to 3 shifts,
yeah.
or 6 to 2.
They don't have 3 shifts anymore like they
They
used to.
don't have 3 oh, I
Not
thought
full-
they were
not
there
3 full
overnight.
shifts, Not 3 full shifts.
Okay,
They
okay.
have a night crew come in. But even still, the reserved for town office signs that I had put up 3 years ago, apparently they can't read because they're taking up all of the sign, all of the parking spaces that are actually reserved for the town office people. So,
All right. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, now we have 2 resignations from NB Helps. We have, please accept this letter as my official resignation from the NB Helps Board. Thank you for the chance to volunteer with the NB Helps Decorate group. And I look forward to seeing the wonderful things that the group and new board members will be working on over the years. The experience has been memorable, and I learned about how a few dedicated volunteers can come together to bring about so many positives in our small town. Best regards, Stephanie LaChamber. And the other one, John, if you want to read that.
it has been amazing being able to volunteer and work with you all, but unfortunately, due to my work obligations and important family matters, I will be resigning in order to attend to these important things in my world. It has been a pleasure to volunteer alongside you and wish each of you and the group nothing but the best. Thank you, Katie Bisek.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept both resignations.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And thank you to Stephanie and Katie for
Yes.
serving. All right. Anything else under new business? John, old business? All right, public comment period.
I just wonder if I can break something up on new business. It's actually a good thing,
Well,
so I
you
have
have
nothing to complain about.
Public comment period, you got 2 minutes.
Okay. I've gone to different towns, that me and my wife, we travel around. We actually was out in Sherburne this weekend. I see a lot of towns, they put out Memorial Day and Veterans Day, they put out pictures of veterans that served that were their town
They're
residents.
beautiful, aren't they?
Why can't we do that in Brookfield?
I'm
think
sure
that's
it's a money thing.
Well, it's Memorial Day, you can bring up the same pictures,
You could,
Veterans
somebody's gonna pay
Day,
for it,
it's
so
just somebody,
unfortunately.
well, I mean,
I've seen them, I've looked at it, and like I drive through, like Bolton has it.
they're all over the place.
Yeah,
And
I think
it's-
Holden does it.
Even in other states.
So,
I
those are-
think it's nice,
those are also-
especially you're representing, you're seeing the townspeople,
Yeah,
and
and I
past and
love the
present.
idea.
And the other thing was, it all in one is, and we got very small high school graduates in this school now, is put their names up, like a banner of their name on it, congratulations to class 2024, and then have their name on each one, and then
Sure.
represent, what do you got, 15 kids
Well,
graduating the class?
that would be something we'd have to bring up with the school committee, okay, which we could do. And the other thing, I think that we could put an email together for the VFW and the Legion and ask them for their input on it.
Just something like,
No.
like I said, I'm
They'd
just
have-
throwing numbers out,
they'd have the
15
list.
people
They'd have the list.
graduate, 20 people, even if there's 30 people, which I know there isn't that many, but, to put their names up in the main street, congratulating, the kids would get that, and their family members would love that.
Yeah,
And it's something you're cheering up the town, if you want to
Sure.
say.
sure.
I haven't seen any of that with the high school kids, but where it's a small class, you're not really talking,
Yeah,
with these places.
Typically, Tara reaches out and asks for the kids' pictures and information, and she'll have it on the town sign, so it will
I can even use a
pictures will
yearbook
rotate
picture.
through the town
Yeah.
sign. Yeah, but if she
But,
doesn't get
the big thing
information,
too is
she can't
ask the
do it,
parents
so.
for permission.
Right.
Well,
Because some of them might feel offended, but if they feel offended, don't, so you don't put them up there.
she can put them on the town sign. electronic sign.
Well, you know what, to be honest with you, I'm
You gotta
driving down the
sit and watch
road
it.
to read a sign. I think going down the street, you see each pole, you know, of a picture on there, I think looks nicer than sitting at a, you know, pocket aside there so I can see 17 kids if, you know, if I'm waiting for my, you know, grandchild or my kid, you know, to show up on a bulletin board.
Yep.
You know, I just think if you're driving down the street, it looks nicer than,
You're right.
that's my own opinion on it as a resident of this town. And to tell you the truth, I have nobody in the school department. I don't have anybody deceased and that's a veteran, so this is something as an idea that I think looks nice.
Well, it could be made up as a poster and put on the telephone poles.
Yeah.
Instead of a banner. Banner would be expensive to hang and
So-
insure and all that stuff.
All right. What else we got? Brandon was first.
I just, to remind any groups out there that there is a Parks and Recreation Committee, and we do have a policy and procedure that is on the town website. Regardless of that, there's always been a procedure in place for requests of resources that has to go through the board first. So we're trying to be very accommodating, being this is our first year in operation, but you know, apparently some people aren't aware of that, so I'm just trying to put out a reminder.
All right, thank you.
Can I say something? Ashley, did Katie Griffin talk to you about trunk or treat?
No.
Because she gave you a thing for it a month or two or so ago, before the committee was formed, so.
That would have been back in the spring,
What?
and I don't have it.
You don't
so,
have it?
No.
All right, because she talked to me the other day, she wants me to serve hot dogs, but.
Yeah, she'll need to put in a request for resources. I mean, I wouldn't have kept a hold of something from April to be on the agenda for
She
October.
wanted to
so.
get it in, so, but I'll call her and
Yeah.
tell her. She said she was gonna come down, I didn't know if she did or
No.
That's okay.
not. Okay, so-
Joanne?
Okay, well, some of this is gonna be redundant, you already talked about, the, ARPA funds, but my question about the ARPA funds is using ARPA funds to pay for a town administrator, I feel is a gross misuse of these funds, because the, recommended guiding principles, say to invest in water, sewer, I know you're using some of the money, you touched on it. You talked about the clean drinking water with the, and to support vital wastewater and stormwater infrastructure, you talked about that. And this says that the ARPA fund should not be used for recurring programs, and obviously a town administrator would be a recurring program. So once this money's gone, there isn't any more money for that. So I
Well,
think,
it hasn't been decided yet. It's still something that we're looking into. Okay? Nobody's hiring a town administrator anytime soon. Okay? What we're doing is we're creating a job description in the event that we do hire one. And the guidelines have changed numerous times since those came out. And the state will tell you that there's a lot of different things that they can spend it on now that they couldn't originally. In fact, I was told by a state representative just to spend it on whatever we want because they want us to spend the money. Okay, so I just don't think that advice is the best advice when you have money, because you don't know if you're gonna get more, even though they say that they want you to spend it.
but they want you to spend it on non-recurring things, investing in water.
They don't care.
We all have water-flooded basements.
They don't care. Really. And you don't have to read it, I've read it. So like I said, it hasn't been voted on, it hasn't been decided. It's something that we're looking into and it will be looked at objectively.
Because, I mean, you wouldn't get any more money for a town administrator after these
No, we
other
wouldn't.
funds. that
No, we
you
would
have to come
not.
up with it
Right.
with the town.
But
Exactly.
you may realize a savings in our budget with a town administrator depending on their skills and competencies.
Well, that's the
So-
problem though, depending on their skills and
But you
competencies.
can write that
A
into
lot of
their job
towns have run into
description.
major
Well,
problems. with-
that's why we're looking at it. It's still
Mhm.
up for discussion, it's still gonna go to the town meeting. There's a lot of variables,
Mhm.
so it's not something that's a done deal.
No, I didn't think it was a big deal.
So-
I mean,
So what else-
I
what
know that
else
there's a
you got?
search committee going on, and now they're requesting more ARPA funds than the
We haven't approved
200,000 that you were.
We haven't approved that, so.
Well, I hope you don't.
What else?
I
you
mean,
got?
we've got so many water problems in town.
There are
That's
also many grant opportunities.
Huh?
There are also many grant opportunities for water infrastructure and water lines. et
Yeah,
cetera.
but this is
So-
money that we have specifically for that,
Yes.
and it's available.
However, that money, grant money is available also, we just have to put in the work to get it. So, I mean, there's other opportunities for funds for that. There's not a lot of opportunities for grant funding, employee salaries. We just don't necessarily have the opportunity for that. And this is in our master plan, so I think,
And it may come down to the fact that we, because the economy is what it is, that we might not be able to hire one for even what we did approve. So, like I said, it's all up in the air.
Right, right. Yeah,
So-
and also I just want to, Congress is talking about rescinding unobligated funds, so it behooves people to spend it
Mhm.
quickly before they do something like that.
we have a significant timeline from what I understand.
Well, you have, it must be obligated by December 2024, you have a
Right.
year.
Yes,
Mm,
yep,
year.
to
don't
identify
worry, that
where
can go
that's gonna
quick.
be spent.
So-
Oh, yeah.
What else did you have?
No, that's it.
That was it, right?
Actually, on that, she just said at December 24th, whatever money you don't use, do you have to return it back?
No,
So you have until the money runs out? Is that what
Well,
you're saying?
if we don't spend it,
It
then
has to be appropriated.
it has to be,
Yeah.
right, so we have to
Yeah.
identify,
we can earmark it.
right,
Okay, I
we have
just,
to
I
identify,
was just wondering that if it's not being used, they don't take it back.
not right away,
So,
And then I think, so.
then there's a
if-
timeline from
if
there.
You gotta earmark it by the 2024 deadline,
by the deadline.
and then you have to spend it by like a 2026 deadline,
Yeah.
so.
But if Congress decides to, if you don't obligate
You
the money.
can't count on Congress for deciding on anything,
Well, I understand that, but.
so,
but-
no, I get it, Joanne, I understand, I get your point.
Okay.
The winter parking ban, that's for all public streets, and that starts at 9 PM?
Yep.
Isn't that a little bit early? People have like holiday parties and their guests can't park in the street.
If there's not a storm going on, I
It's
don't
not
think they're
being
gonna care.
enforced?
I
Okay.
don't think they're gonna care.
That was-
If there's a storm coming in and it's snowing,
Yeah.
and people are parked out there,
I just didn't know if it applied for like every day
I
through the
think-
winter,
Well, it does.
because
It does.
it would make it difficult.
it does, but, if there's nothing happening, people are having a party, I don't think they're gonna bother. So, if there's a blizzard going on and people are having a party, they should be thinking about something else anyway.
Leaving.
Uh,
It's a good question, though. It'd be good to.
All right, anything else? Public comment period? Okay. You want to read that announcement on the bottom of the agenda?
Oh, okay, so, just an announcement that we are closing Tucker Road, between Tucker Cross Road and Bates and Old West Brookfield Road intersection. And that is due to water and drainage issues, is that right? They can't get down.
It's flooding.
It's flooded, yeah.
Yeah, you can't get down there anyway. So,
Been flooded for several years.
yes,
Yeah, people keep moving, the things, we're officially closing it, so.
so nobody gets
Yeah,
stuck
people
down
like to
there.
drive through it. Just
Yeah.
don't-
Well, there'll be barriers, concrete barriers, they're going up tomorrow. They keep moving the sawhorses and the signs and everything, so it's gonna be an awful hard to move a big concrete block or several of them.
you want your 2 minutes?
No, I don't want anything. Thank you for asking. Sorry if I disappointed
My
you.
best Red Fox impersonation. All right. I'll entertain the motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Second?
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody, have a good night.